Welcome back to the final part of the West Yorkshire Spinners Springtime Blanket Knit-Along. I am Chloe Elizabeth Birch, the designer of this blanket, and here to introduce you to part 3 and how we bring the blanket together. If you haven't already, you can download the free pattern on the West Yorkshire Spinners website, then you are all ready to get started. This week we will be making the final 2 panels, as well as sewing up the blanket and making the border. For our final 2 panels we will be making the pansies. These motifs are created using a range of colourwork techniques that are all covered in part 1's video, along with how to create the borders. If you would like a recap on how to do this, feel free to go back and rewatch. Then we go on to attach all the panels together to form the blanket, before last but not least adding our final border. First in part 3 we will work the 2 pansy panels. This panel is made up of 1 chart. This motif is created firstly using stranded fair isle for the stems, and then working in tarsia for the main flower, using separate balls for each section to avoid floats at the back. The purple detail section of the flower will be worked afterwards using Swiss darning. Once your panel is complete, you will then work the side edges of the border in shade B. Now all our panels are complete, we are ready to join them together. To join the panels together, we are going to use mattress stitch. To do this, we work on the right side with our 2 panels we want to join next to each other. First, I'm going to join my yarn to the base of the side edge of the first panel. For the sake of this tutorial, I am using a contrast colour thread, so you can see the process a little easier. Now I am taking my needle and working through the first stitch of the other panel. Then going back to the original panel and doing the same, working through 1 stitch at a time. I'm going to do this again, threading my needle through the next stitch of the left-hand panel, and then doing the same on the right-hand panel. Now we have worked this a few times, I can pull my thread to close the seam. And here is the beginning of our seam. Now I'm going to continue in this method all the way up to the top. And here is our finished seam. You will join all the panels in the same way. Now we are ready to join the blanket. I would recommend starting with the 3 bottom panels here, joining them together along the side edges. Once you have done this, you can then attach the longer bluebell panel on top. Then join the 3 panels above this, along the side edges like before, attaching this to the longer bluebell panel below. Then join the top tulip panel. Finally join the other tulip panel by its top edge to the shorter bluebell panel, and bring the 2 remaining pieces together along the side edge. To finish the blanket, you will knit a 2-row border around the edge using A, just like you have done for each of the panels. You will pick up into each side individually, knit 2 rows and cast off. And here we have our finished blanket. I hope you enjoyed making this as much as I did designing it.